7 seconds. That is how long it takes your brain to decide whether someone is trustworthy, competent, likable, or dangerous. Is that not a very short time? Before a single word is spoken, before any meaningful interaction takes place, your mind has already written a story about the person standing before you. An automatic system shapes this for you. You do not choose it. You cannot stop it. It happens automatically in the blink of an eye without you even realizing it. And here is the uncomfortable truth. You go through the same system. Right now, everyone you meet is judging you in exactly the same way. Every room you enter, every handshake, every first glance carries a judgment you will never hear aloud. Welcome to 5 Minute Psychology. In the next 5 minutes, you'll learn a powerful psychological idea that can change the way you think. Love psychology? Subscribe for more. Now let's continue. The 7 second rule is not a myth invented by personal development experts. It is a proven fact. It is a neurological reality rooted in the most primitive parts of your brain. Your amygdala, the region responsible for detecting threats, processes faces and body language before your conscious mind even notices someone's presence. This is not a flaw in the way you think. It is a survival mechanism that kept your ancestors alive and enabled them to become your ancestors. Think of it as quickly detecting a perceived danger and going on the defensive, an instant and rapid inference. Within those 7 seconds, your brain evaluates dozens of variables simultaneously: facial symmetry, eye contact patterns, posture and physical openness, voice tone and pitch, micro expressions that appear on the face in a fraction of a second, clothing, grooming, and physical appearance. The way a person occupies space tells your brain a story about status and confidence. None of this is rational. None of it is fair for judging or evaluating someone, but it is all true. The most unsettling part is what happens after those 7 seconds. Your brain does not keep an open mind. It looks for evidence that confirms the judgment it already made. This is called confirmation bias, and it turns first impressions into self-fulfilling prophecies. If your brain decided someone is untrustworthy, you will unconsciously notice every small thing that supports that conclusion. You will dismiss or ignore evidence that contradicts it. The initial verdict becomes a filter through which all future information must pass. This is why first impressions are so difficult to change. You are not fighting against someone's opinion, you are fighting against their brain's fundamental architecture. Studies show it can take up to 8 positive encounters to overcome a single negative first impression. 8. Think about how many opportunities you have to make 8 positive impressions on someone who has already decided you are not worth their attention. But here is where it becomes personal. You carry first impressions with you that were formed about you years ago. Family members who decided who you were before you could speak. Teachers who categorized you in the first week of class. Colleagues who made up their minds in your first meeting. You have been living inside other people's 7 second judgments your entire life, often without knowing what those judgments were or how they shaped the way people treated you. And you did the same thing to others. Every person you rejected so quickly went through the same process. Every potential connection you did not make was because of that warning your brain whispered to you in the first few seconds. Every moment you instantly felt dislike for someone and later could not explain why. This was a sign that the 7 second rule was working exactly as intended, perhaps protecting you from threats that never existed. The question is not whether you can stop making snap judgments. You cannot. The question is whether you can learn to keep those judgments loose. Can you give others and yourself the chance to be more than what fits into a 7 second automatic assessment? Your brain will always write the first draft of every person's story, but you can choose whether that first draft is the only draft. Understanding the 7 second rule does not make you immune to it, but it does make you aware of the invisible architecture shaping your social reality. Every connection you have ever made began with a judgment neither of you controlled, and every connection you have missed might have been lost in those same 7 seconds. The brain that judges so quickly is also the brain that can choose to look again, to question its own conclusions, to let someone become more than a first impression.